Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this step-by-step DIY video, we're going to install the Active Autowerke high flow catted downpipe on my 2022 BMW M340i. Now what makes this high flow catted downpipe great is that it has a high quality 400 cell cat with inside of here that does not produce a check engine light once you throw it on the car. It is EPA compliant and the flow does exceed as far as what the stock one can produce. So this is a win-win and I'm really looking forward to throwing this one on the car. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to install the downpipe on the B58. We'll get some nice before and after sound clips just so you can hear the difference. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this DIY started.
Chuki Beats.
All right, first things first, we're going to go ahead and pop the hood. We're going to pull the latch 2 times. All right, with the hood open, we are going to remove the engine cover. Now the engine cover on the B58 just has a couple grommets on it, so all you have to do is just pull up on it, front, and of course the back. Once you do so, you can lift it off and move it out of the way. Once the engine cover has been removed, we're going to need to disconnect both O2 sensors. So you're going to definitely need to pause it here so that way you ensure you install the O2 sensor connectors back in the same location as far as how they sit. All right, you got your black wire here that's on your first one, or black wire goes to your first O2 sensor, and then your gray one goes to your rear O2 sensor. The O2 sensors sit on this harness right here, and you basically have to release them so that way you can just get underneath them and be able to disconnect them. So what you're gonna need to do is take a pick tool. So there's this tab right here. You push in, and then you can pull it to release it. Release it. Do the next one here. And then release them out. Now with that done, to disconnect the wiring from that, you pull back. So take this gray connector, pull it back to pop it off. Same thing goes with this one. Pull it back there, push down, and then release. Now you have both O2 sensors disconnected. You need to just get them off of these little metal hangers because we're going to be feeding the downpipe out the bottom. So just lifting up on them, sliding them out. Careful not to hang up on the wires anywhere. There's one there and one here on the back. Once you have that, then you'll have both O2 sensors just dangling down. Next, we're gonna disconnect our V-band clamp, which is right here. Just for reference, there's your V-band clamp. It's gonna start coming out just a little bit. As you can see, you can start seeing more of the threads. Once you have the V-band fully loose, there you go. I'm going to set it just on the downpipe there so we can be off of the actual flange. You can just have it resting right here. So that way when we pull it off from down below, it'll come right off the turbo. $13mm for this top one. Go ahead and remove that out. Due to space, I switched to a 1/4" drive, 13mm, because of the heat shield. I'm having very limited room, so the last one was a 3/8 drive. Now I did a 1/4" drive, so that way I can get all the way back there and be able to unscrew it. Go to remove that one off. Now comes the next part where you need to get underneath the vehicle. So you'll need to jack it up, put on jack stands. Safety first, of course. For what I'm using the Quick Jack 6000 ELX to be able to jack it up and get underneath it. So let's go ahead and get to that next. All right, so on my Quick Jack, I had to take it up to spot number 2. I did have it there. Definitely wanted a lot more clearance. It's more so pulling down the downpipe out, fitting the new one in without hitting the floor. Get plenty of under the car clearance. All right, so here's your downpipe. You have a 13 millimeter clamp. I'm gonna take this off, and then a 13 millimeter nut there to get off the back. That's for the hanger. It's looking a little corroded, so we'll go ahead and do some PB Blaster. And back one's looking really good, so we'll leave that one alone. And now we're gonna go ahead and loosen up our clamp here. It's a 13 millimeter. Using my impact drill. This hanger right here, also 13 millimeter. With moving it back far enough, see how it's off of the hanger a little bit. Once you do that, you're then able to have it disconnected like this because you were able to move this around and push it back. Now we'll take off, there's a clip holding off where the two 13 millimeter nuts were up there at the top. So you gotta pop that off because that's what's kind of holding it up with it on. So once we have that off, then we'll be able to pull the whole entire downpipe right out. Voila. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to remove the stock O2 sensors from the stock downpipe. I'm going to be using my Tecton O2 sensor removal tool. This is a 22 millimeter. And we're going to go ahead and remove one at a time so that way we don't swap them up in the process. Just a matter of sliding it through this way since it has a little slit there. For the O2, I'm gonna go to the left. There we go. Unscrew this one. Same process as this one. Go. Get that one out. Okay, with that out, now we can go ahead and move our stock cat out of the way. For active Autowerke one, what they do is when they send your Catted Downpipe to you in the mail, they already pre-install the downpipe gasket. So it's in there, careful, it could fall out if you hold it over or whatever, but it's already in there. So make sure that's already in there. You don't have to swap out or anything. Just took out the gray one that's right here. Put that one through. The black one in. Go and thread this one in by hand. Go ahead and tighten the top one here. Next, to get it ready before we go ahead and install it back in the car, take your stock V-band clamp, and it's going to install like this, as far as down in the side. So when you put your V-band on, which the bolt was facing this way, so like this, I put it right here on the bottom. All right, now it's time to go ahead and feed the downpipe all back up in here. Basically what I'm trying to do is get it on these hinges. Just like ease it in. So the exhaust will start sliding back in there. We're gonna go ahead and tighten the clamp here. $13mm impact. I'm gonna go ahead and add our little nut here, 13mm. What you wanna do is push up on the exhaust, pull it forward, that way it can get started. Once it gets started, just hold it there, and then, so since all the bottom is done, we can go ahead and lower down the car and then finish up the install on the top.
Chuki Beats.
Go ahead and push it in, wait for it to click, push that one in. Route the black one up, same thing, push into here, wait till it to click fully, push into that. We're just gonna put the sliders back on. They just go in these little groove marks. You'll hear them click in. All right, there you have it. Once all the O2s are good, you're good with everything. V-band is tightened. O2s are in the right spot. Make sure not to mess those up. Mix those up a little bit. Make sure those are on the right spot. Everything's tightened. The back bolts are tightened. Underneath is tightened. Put your cover on. Install is complete. And then all we have to do is start her up. let's get a before cold start. Well guys, that does it for the DIY video today. How to install an active Autowerke high flow catted downpipe on your M340i with the B58 engine. Definitely a simple install to do, and the sound is transformed versus what it was stock. You know, videos never do justice, and it is definitely that much louder, you know, once you have it on and in person. Since doing this DIY, I've driven the car for a little over 300 miles now. Everything has been wonderful. It's always good to go back and just double check everything, just to make sure everything's tightened. So, you know, I went ahead and did that. That's just always a good rule of thumb, you know, once you install something. We'll be doing the tune soon to get the full performance of it, but just the overall driving and building boost up, much improved versus the stock downpipe. If you guys want to check out the active Autowerke high flow catted downpipe for your B58, I'm gonna put their link down in my description box below. Head on over to Active Autowerke so you can check them out and peruse all the many other great products that they also sell. So big thumbs up on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the many great B58 M340i videos that I have, N54 335i videos, and also S63 TU M5 videos. I'm sure I have something for you to help you along the way in your BMW ownership. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will check you on the next video. Take care.